So what we find is that when obviously someone's life is touched by dementia, it isn't just the person that's diagnosed, it is also the family, the friends, and it can feel quite isolating at the time. So what we find is that the best thing to do is to make sure that the care and support is everything. It's for the individual with the diagnosis, it's for the daughter, the son, or the spouse that's caring for them, and that there are also a lot of people who also have undiagnosed memory conditions for their own reasons, that they might not want to have a diagnosis. And we need to make sure that the added pressure to the spouse or the family members is taken away by having some quality care in place. So what we hear a lot is, I feel overwhelmed as the family carer, or I feel overwhelmed at how much pressure I'm going to put on my family member. And we're there to help you navigate through that system and through that process, really. So Home Studies is a care company, but we also do have the links with the community. So that brings the two worlds together, the healthcare and the groups, charities, everybody here today, really. Quality care matters because care isn't just come and help me with this task. It's about, what do I enjoy doing, what type of person do I like, and why do I want to spend time with them, to make sure that your life is still enhanced when you have care in place. It's not just, I need help with this. It could be that you just want to get to know somebody before that stage of care begins. So we find that keeping similar routines to you've had your entire life is the best way to start with a care service. And equally, again, staying connected with those connections in the community. A lot of people say to us, I feel like I'm going to be isolated, I feel like I'm not going to be able to access things that I've always accessed. And that's not true if you have a quality service around you to support you to still do that. So staying connected with the community also reduces the anxieties and the worries that are coming, because you still have a connection, but it may be a slightly different connection, depending on obviously how the condition of dementia progresses. But it doesn't mean that you have to change your routines completely. It just means that we tweak them slightly, we go to slightly different places, or we don't stay as long. So a quality care service allows you to still access those clubs, groups, charities, but just in a different way, maybe. So another question we get asked a lot is, when do we put care in place? Or the word care seems to scare people a little bit. Now, it's not always care. Like I said, it could be that somebody puts in place a companionship service so that we become a familiar face to support a family care pro or carer to be able to go out a little bit and release a little bit of that pressure off them so that we can take that up. But there are lots of different options. So you can have a cleaning service so that we're a person that's known to you, but obviously we have got knowledge and connections with the community, like everybody here today, so that we can give you those links when you need them. So we do an hourly care service. So the answer to the question of when to put care in place, or if we call it care, we call it whatever you want to call it, basically. So it could be your cleaner, it could be your companion, your daughter's friend, whoever you want us to be is who we are. But it can start from as little as 1 hour a week, where we come just to become familiar. You may recognise our perfume or the way that we enter the property, so that becomes normal and a routine that we build. And then we also do respite support. So if, as a family member or even a person living with a diagnosis of dementia, you think, I need a break from this, we can come in and give you that time. We can come in and do a respite service to give a family care pro maybe a little bit of a break away from the caring. And then we also do a living care service, so it means that people think that there's a point where you have to go into a care home. That's not necessarily the case. We can live with somebody in their own property. The majority of our living care clients do live with a diagnosis of dementia, so we are there then as a support all the way through the journey for family, friends and the individual that's diagnosed with dementia. So the way that we do the quality care at Homestead is by treating everybody as an individual. So I am not going to speak to Lucy how I speak to Mark, and I'm going to come out and ask you for your download of information, what is happening in your life, and I am then going to tell you what I would advise around that information that you give me. How it works is that it rarely is what we say at the beginning. So we adapt and change with you, and we have access to everybody who's next door, and we also have strong connections with them, so we're able to get you the information you need maybe a little bit quicker as well, because we implement care and help people who are living with a variety of conditions, not just dementia, and we know how to access that information, which helps then you guys, because you're doing this for a first, but we may be doing it for the millionth time. So we cater it directly to you. Equally, we put together a team of care professionals, so you are going to see those people on a regular basis. So they become your friends, your network, your surrogate daughter, we get told quite a lot, which then relieves some stress from other people in your group that might feel like they have to be everything for you at this stage. As well as that, we don't take away the independence. I am going to allow people to make unwise decisions, because sometimes we have to make unwise decisions to realise that something's not a great idea. So the care does go on your journey. Like I said, I'm not going to say, oh, because that didn't work for Lucy, it's not going to work for you, Mark. I'm going to let you try it and we'll see where we get to. And involved in all of that is the fact that it is a trusted relationship. You can call the office, you can speak to myself, you can speak to one of the team, they're on the stand today, or the welcome desk, and anybody is going to try and help you, because we want to build a relationship with you all. So yeah, the second point on there, understanding your life story, that's the most important thing. So I want to know the person you are, not who we want to make you. It's about you as an individual and everything that you have always enjoyed, you're going to continue to enjoy, even if you have that fear that that might go at some point or you're not going to remember it, we're still going to keep that alive for you. Did that work? Yeah. So, is that good? So as well as being a home care provider, we also have strong links with living well with dementia in the community. So Sean, who you may have seen floating around, is our business development manager, and she has a real connection with all of the groups that are in the Wild Guide. So the Wild Guides are within these green bags that everybody's got, and it's all activities in the local area and groups that are on and how you can access them. But this allows people to keep their hobbies alive, to keep active, to not socially isolate themselves, because there are a number of groups that are very much geared up to supporting people and be a dementia friendly group. So as well as quality care can't really happen without having quality connections also in the community. It has to come hand in hand, because we need to give you access to things to make you feel well and happy. So that's Sean. Didn't realise you had a picture of her. So yeah, this again is me just going a little bit deeper into the connections that matter. So the community groups we have connections with, so like the healthcare professionals, we at the stage of putting care and support in place would be able to give you a bit of guidance on where you could go to keep your hobby alive, to keep dancing, singing, whatever it is that you may like. There are some quite niche things in there as well for people. Again, the next point, obviously, with healthcare professionals, we are able to talk to healthcare professionals on a professional level. So if you were to have a quality care service in place, we're able to talk directly to them with your permission to get you the best help and support that we can at the time. Equally with the charities, we are able to make sure that you've got all the information that you need and you've got it when you need it. And the activity providers, and again, just touching on the dementia-friendly organisations, we obviously have friendships and relationships with those, so we try to make it as seamless that if that's something you want to be involved in or a place that you want to go to, that we will integrate that into your care and support. So, I mean, the main thing I wanted to talk about today was obviously the fact that care is available, the connection with the community and the healthcare professionals. All of that together means that we reduce the isolation. There's no need for people to be living in solitary confinement. You don't need to be on your own. You can be out in the community with the help of good care to improve the quality of your life, because you still have a life. A diagnosis doesn't mean that that's that. It just means that we might do things a little bit differently, or we'll do it the same to see how it works. The support from the correct care carers, so whether that be a combination of a family member, a spouse, or some care professionals, you would get to know your care professionals as though they were part of your extended family. Creating, obviously, your dementia-friendly space. So if you have got a diagnosis or not, that we're going to suggest places that are safe for you to go to, and we can obviously come with you if that was needed, or we'll just drop you off and pick you up, and you're free to do what you want there. And the main thing is you're not alone in this journey. There were so many people that have come here today, whether they're a family member or a carer themselves. There's lots of people, and it's just knowing that there's no shame in a diagnosis, or it's about sharing experiences and growing with that. So the main takeaways from today are: visit everybody, ask as many questions, but also I know I've taken quite a few people's details today. We can always call you, or if you've got a phone number or a leaflet that you pick up, give someone a call afterwards. No question's a silly question, and we've heard majority of them, but we can help you with your specific journey. Get as much knowledge as you need. Even if it's not relevant now, it might be relevant in the near future or in years down the line, but it's useful just to gain knowledge for your own self, really, and to know that you're definitely not alone. There are lots of people living, especially in this area, because this is the area that we cover. There are lots of people living with dementia, Alzheimer's, and you're not alone. It's just your own journey that you're on, and we can help with that. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I've spoken a lot, so has anybody got any questions that they'd like to ask, or? Yeah.
May I ask how much it costs to maximum, or per hour, or whatever?
So it very much depends on what you want. So like I said, that it's specific to you. It depends if you want just a few hours or you want all the way up until living care. There's lots of different prices. So I wouldn't really be able to give you just now, but obviously if you came to the stand afterwards, we could talk about what it is you'd be looking for specifically. But yeah, it's tailored to you is all I can say for the answer to that. Anybody else?
Laura.
I am Laura.
Would traffic talking therapies mean anything to you, Laura? Something the GP mentioned to me the other day when I was talking to her about something else, but I am a carer.
Yeah.
They just mentioned these traffic talking therapies.
Yeah. So it allows you just to talk through how you're feeling about it.
Who are they? Where are they?
I'm not 100% sure where they're based because I don't know who you've been referred to, but it allows you just to talk through your emotions around the situation, because as a carer, a personal carer, it's a lot of stress and strain you're putting on yourself, and it's just to talk through those processes and to make sure that they're there to support you.
That's what the GP had in mind, of course, when he gave them that, but I need a contact.
So you haven't been given one?
No.
Okay. Well, it's something that I could get you some information on afterwards if you wanted to come to what we're in the main hall.
Yes, okay.
And we could have a chat about that. I could try and find some details for you.
Just use today to get as much information from every single stand, because events like these are very hard to put on and very hard to get people to keep coming and to share information. So I'm so glad that you've heard about it and you've come along and you get the chance to ask all the questions. But yeah, that's the difference between private care and your social services, is they're limited to what they can offer because they've only got a finite budget.
I think with Homestead Service, sometimes we complement a social care package. So we will do that hobby, we'll do that friendship that might be missing a little bit. So we pretty much will do anything you want us to do because the care is bespoken around you. So it's just a slightly different service, but you are still going to get care from an NHS service. What we do is all encompassing, so it's linking everybody next door with you without you having to search, like yourself, the gentleman that said about the talking therapies. I would find that out for you if you were a client of ours. I'm going to connect all the dots for you so that it's not hard, because I have the ability to do that and the time. It's not always possible with obviously how stretched sometimes the services can be. Everything is accessible though, and I'm not saying that we're any better than anything else, but we are a quality care service. I've had a lot of people come up to us today to say that they've heard of us, they know about us, and that's all I need to hear really. So yeah. Anybody else? Am I well within time here?
You're well within time. Well done.
Yeah.
This is a miracle. Laura can talk for ages.
May I ask, are you able to point somebody in the direction of residential care just for respite for a week, away from home?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So we do respite care at home.
But you'd stay there all night?
A living care, yeah.
Just for 1 week?
Yeah.
Well,
But we do have kind of good connections with the quality care homes that we would recommend, because we've got a connection with them and we know the way they work.
If you stayed there all that day and night,
yeah,
as a week, a week.
Yeah, we do, because what we do is we then would get the care professional we were thinking of, because we'd come out, get to know whoever it was we were going to live with, pick the specific living care pro who we think will work, get them to come and meet the client beforehand, maybe for a couple of hours, and then they'd move in for the week. And the things that they get up to, there's some really nice stories, because it just opens up a lot of doors. And the living care pro, it's not just in the house. You can go out, go to the Trafford Centre, go to food festivals.
Don't do shopping.
It's strange though, some of the things that people get involved in with a private care, with a care company, it's different.
I get
so
that.